Get up, baby, this morning. This is Elio Piedra. Another morning means another coffee because this is Morning Coffee with Elio. This is going to be a great day. We have a fantastic guest. Get up, baby, this morning. This is Elio Piedra. Another morning means another coffee because this is Morning Coffee with Elio. Welcome back to another awesome episode. But let me tell you, today is going to be unforgettable. You know why? Because we have unforgettable events. Yes, a morning coffee with Elio for the first time. We're gonna be talking about the challenge that the events vendors we are going to be facing just right now because we're slowly reopen once again. And to talk about that and much, much more, I have with me today my good friend Dan and Lupe Hathcock. So let's bring it on camera. How you doing, Dan?
We're doing great. Good morning, Elio.
Good morning, good morning. I am super excited to have you here, and I want to thank you and thank Lupe for making time for our morning coffee community, for to be here and to share your knowledge and your tips about how we can have safe events once again for our clients, for our community. So I am super excited to talk about that. But before we start with all my questions, I would love to touch base about who you are and your background as a florist and how was the beginning of Dan coming from Miami. Talk to me about that.
Well, coming from Miami, I was working with a gentleman named David Harrison, who is like, if people understand events, the Preston Bailey of the day back in the 60s. And I learned how to design, worked out decor for special events, and came up to the University of Florida to attend UF. And I was at UF for 4 years. And when I finished, didn't want to go into psychology, so I went back into the flower and event industry.
So you decide that flowers was a better therapy.
Absolutely, absolutely. So sometimes what you deal with in the psychology end of things is so traumatic and so difficult that a daily dosage of it can be very damaging. And flowers and events, people are always looking to have a good time. They're always happy at the events. So what could be better?
Yes, that is fantastic. So you and Lupe, Dan and Lupe, you are watching. They are the owners at Unforgettable Events Company, a beautiful company that they do wonderful events of all types. I mean, you name it. You guys do like weddings, corporate events, galas, festivals, you name it. They do it all. And they have custom designs for every single type of event. It is fantastic. It is unforgettable. So talk to me then. How are you guys getting ready to start reopening again, but also to educate your clients? How your clients can feel safe in a safe environment? Because right now all the clients and everybody, some of them are like kind of like freaking out with the safety rules and everything. But I was talking to you the other day, and I was feeling this peace of mind because you were mentioning so many great ideas about how you can have a safe environment for your clients. So talk to me about this.
Well, most of it begins with talking to the client and getting an understanding of where they are and how stressed they are. The first order of business is to try and get them comfortable with where they're at. Things have to be postponed. Hopefully, they don't get canceled. Just because we're in the middle of a pandemic doesn't mean we have to cancel things. We can restructure them. And when the client understands that what they originally set out to do doesn't have to be banished, their love's going to go on. They'll still get married in the case of weddings. They're still going to marry the person they love. Maybe they marry them today, but have the celebration in November, December, or May of next year. But the ultimate goal is to keep everybody safe and create an event that's going to be a joy for them and something that their family and their friends can experience, but also be safe with. We've seen things like the drive-through weddings at the courthouse here in Gainesville. Actually, Lupe's granddaughter was one of the young ladies that got married in that drive-through. So people came by with in their cars to watch and celebrate them. So they were all socially distanced. Many of the brides that we're talking with were discussing a lot of different methods of keeping them safe, working out new floor plans for venues where they've got social distancing and they've got larger groups and they need to be able to create space for them to be safe. So we're redoing the table layouts, we're redoing the types of seating, offering different floor plans and formats than the venues that we're working with have ever used before. We have events that we have tented events coming up. They're outdoors, so it's much safer because they're in the open air. We can shrink, or contract, or expand tents as we need to. Um, the local events that we're doing that are inside venues, it's just a matter of maybe creating feasting tables where you can seat 8 to 12 people at a table as opposed to what we would normally do 14 or 16. We're just creating a space in between each of the seats. Some of the round tables of 60 inches, which normally seat 8 people, we'll be seating 4 people at. We might be putting low 30-inch round tables that we seat 2 people at. We have an event coming up that we're talking to a bride at the Thomas Center. So we'll be putting 30-inch tables in the breezeways so we can put 2 people at each event. So that's at about another 20 people that we can introduce to her event. And it's just trying to set up settings like this that accommodate their needs but keep everybody safe.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's the main idea, is the main concern of the clients as well, that how can they feel still like safe in a environment where if they are inside, they are still, practicing the social distancing, all of that. I think that would be the biggest challenge for us, vendors out there. Remember I was mentioning that for me as entertainer, and I love to be engaging with clients all the time, but I've been trying to find ways to engage with them from the distance, which is it can be a challenge, but it is possible, and I've been doing it since I started doing events little by little bit, especially public events. It is now even harder since 2 weeks ago. But now let's back up really quick. So when you were coming from Miami, you came to UF and all of that. You also mentioned that you used to drive for a company, a florist company, right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I had there was a florist in Miami that I started out with. Um, my dad used to take me to that shop when I was a young boy, and we would go on Fridays to get flowers for my mom, and then we'd go home and put them together. So he died when I was 13. When I was 14, my allowance wasn't as big as I wanted it to be, so I decided I was going to go and do some work to get a bigger allowance. And I went to start driving for that floral company when I was 14. I was 6'2", had a learner's permit. They never asked if I had a real driver's license, and they hired me. So I drove for a while, and then I realized that designers did better than the drivers do. So I started to learn how to design.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And when did you decide to create unforgettable events?
Well, actually, we started. I left Miami, came up to UF, went to UF for 4 years. Was going to go into the field of psychology and then decided to go into events instead. At that time, I opened up a company called the Enchanted Florist, and we were the Enchanted Florist for, oh my God, about 25, almost 25 years. And then after Enchanted Florist, we opened up Unforgettable Events that allowed us to create special events, which became my passion, as opposed to running deliveries and dealing with everybody's last minute situation. Planning events was a lot more fun. So that's how we came into opening up Unforgettable Events.
That is awesome. And just so our morning coffee community that is watching, I have some pictures to show you guys why we're talking so much about flowers, about the beauty of these events, and why they are unforgettable events. I have some pictures to show you guys. So check this out. So I have this picture that it has. It looks like a beautiful gala with white lights and these beautiful curtains and now I have this one right here that is more like purple. It's like a purple with gold colors. That's a beautiful events, unforgettable events. I have also this picture, of course, with a lot of flowers, very colorful, and that's what I like. Dan, every time I see your designs, your custom designs for every specific event, all of them they are very colorful. It doesn't matter what is the type of event, but it is always so colorful. So how do you decide what colors they go with the event and what flowers? How do you work on that?
Well, typically, if it's a wedding, the bride's going to give us direction as to what her colors are, and usually we draw that from the colors that she chooses for her bridesmaids' gowns. Uh, Corporate events are a little different. Most corporate events, they give us a lot of latitude and a lot of freedom. And as you said, I love color. A color brings the fiesta. It brings all that happiness and joy out. One of the things I love doing most is ethnic weddings, especially Indian weddings, because they are so colorful and they are incredibly joyful. So that's how we end up pulling out different color programs for us. And when I was in doing educational seminars in the flower industry, quite often my programs evolved around color theory. So I was teaching the use of color and how you could juxtapose different colors like oranges and purples together. And you actually, when you take like red and yellow and you put them together, it develops a vibration, a literal vibration when you see the colors together. So it's interesting to see how colors work, and people respond to the colors. So if you want to have an event that is alive and vibrant, use vibrant colors.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're gonna take a quick break and we're coming back. But before we do that, let's say hello to Linda Rocha, our dear friend. Linda is saying unforgettable events by Dan Hathcock. The core for our champagne gala was the real start of the evening, except when you were dancing, Elio. Oh my goodness. That's Linda Rocha from Dance Alive. We love Linda and Dance Alive, our Dance Alive family, and we support arts as much as we can. Unforgettable events. It is always saying present at all events by Dance Alive for National Ballet. Hey, this is Morning Coffee with Elio, with Dan and Lupe Hathcock, and we are coming back after this break, and hopefully we can get a little taste of that wonderful smile from Lupe when we come back. Okay, so you stay right there because we're gonna be talking about all the people, all the industries that they also being affected by this situation and how we are all collaborating together to keep moving forward. So we're coming back in a minute. This is Morning Coffee with
Okay, so
Elliot.
you're on
It's gonna
next,
be a
Lupe.
great day. We have a fantastic guest right now. So we are coming back after this break. Alrighty, guys, welcome back to Morning Coffee with Elio. And today we are here with unforgettable events. And let's go back with our friend Dan. Dan, we are back with you once again. Meanwhile, Lupe can, get ready.
Amazing. Yes, she is.
She's ready for.
You want to say you want to say hello to Lupe?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, here she comes.
Hello, good
Good
morning.
morning,
How are you?
Lupita.
Ay, corazón, good to see
Good
you.
to see you too. I am super excited to be talking to you guys this morning, and I'm very grateful and honored for having you. So, I wanted to ask you. Lupe, because I know there is many different industries that they collaborate with you guys. For example, we have organizations that we relate on them for updates, such as the IE, the ILEA, the Wedding Wire, the NOC, and
International
local
League
associations
of
too.
Events.
So how can vendors can still be updated about the safety rules, about when it is okay to have events inside? How do you guys manage this information?
Hopefully, the weather will cooperate if we want to do an outdoor wedding. If it's inside, we hope the air conditioner's working and all the light switches and all the light, what do you call it, breakers are working. And but anyway, at times you have to do a couple of trips, look at the venue, look at the pros and the cons, and at times you go and you go, oh, we got to cover that wall, or we got to do something about that floor, and just little logistics that now come naturally. And but it's so exciting to get. I mean, for me, it's like, ooh, it's kind of like my wedding too. I get into it. I really, at times, the brides are very receptive to an opinion, or they want their mom there, which is very important if they have a mom. Otherwise, I just throw in a couple of little things, not much, and if they ask for more, then I'll give them more. But it's I kind of like I feel like Dan is the master in this, um, and I am his navigator. I give him water when he needs it. Um, I keep an eye on him. I keep an eye on everybody. So I kind of like supervise and kind of like do this, do that. That's my job, my main job.
That's awesome. So we all know that
Elio,
you have
Elio,
uh-huh.
in answer to your question about how we get information to the different vendors,
Yes.
um, we're dealing with several different organizations that we're affiliated with. American Institute of Floral Designers. It's an international organization, very closed group, very select, but we keep one another updated on the most current practices, not only in design, but also in planning safe social events. ILEA is the International Live Event Association. It used to be called ISIS before all the craziness with ISIS. That was the International Society of Event Specialists. So they changed to ILEA, but they're a wonderful resource to actually help you with figuring out your social distancing and keeping updated with the different states' requirements for opening for social distancing and opening for events. Um, you have Wedding Wire. Wedding Wire is a great resource for brides across the country, and they bring out seminars that are constantly updating vendors on what the current practices are, how to work with your clients, how to keep your clients from getting stressed too much. Then there's brides to be. So there's several different sites out there, several different organizations. As I said, we're affiliated with all the ones that I've already mentioned, and they just offer a great resource for making certain that you're advising your clients on the best way, on the most up to date trends and information from the governments. Because as we're witnessing on TV, it'll change every half hour if they wanted to. So you just need to make sure that whatever information you're imparting, that you're imparting the best and most current information.
Yes, I agree with you. And then, I gotta tell you, normally when we are actually hosting any event, um, clients are a little bit stressful normally, all right? They're a little bit stressful. They
Hmm.
have a lot of anxiety because because sometimes just excitement. They are excited about the event because they want it perfect. So, do you think this situation, especially at the very beginning, now that we are slowly reopening, do you think that this situation is going to increase the level of anxiety in the clients? And if you think that it's going to be that way, what are going to be the best way to manage this anxiety with clients?
Well, first of all, I think the government, our state is being smart as far as opening up in a slower fashion. Um, there's a lot of people that could potentially become very ill if we're not responsible about the way we handle this. So, moving things along in a slow, moderate way, making sure that people are safe to be able to go into these events, providing the safe, clean surface, clean distancing for everybody that's going to attend them. But then again, if you end up in a situation where fall, as they predicted, we end up with a second wave of this, and the numbers start to rise again, and then people are back to having to postpone and reschedule. It's going to be stressful, and once again, it's the events are not about us as vendors. It's about the clients that we're working with. It's about their dreams being realized and being satisfied. So we need to listen carefully to them and respond to them, make them understand that we're concerned and we're there as a resource and a support for them. And I think when we do things like that, when we listen to them and we make the answers and the directions that we take things all about them rather than about our personal needs, then we succeed.
Yes, yes, I totally agree with you. And I gotta tell you that I've been talking to different institutions. Actually, I had the opportunity to talk to somebody from the county and mentioning this that we need to slowly reopen all businesses because, for example, there is no warranty that if we stay in lockdown, quarantine, and then let's say somebody's gonna call you one day, hey, the COVID 19 is gone. Yeah, but what now? What about our economy? What about everyone's dream of getting married, of having their events, in a safe way, but still having that event because it's happening. So, all of these conversations, they've been, going back and forth and analyzing different ways to keep moving forward and actually to grow through this situation. The other day, I actually wanted to ask everybody that is watching or anybody that is going to watch the show afterwards to go back to Unforgettable Events Facebook. You've been sending out positive message about how to stay calm, how to stay thankful. And that's so beautiful. And these messages, they are full of flower. They are very colorful videos. So then let's share a message of positivity this morning with everybody that is watching or are going to watch the show afterwards. What will you say to them?
Well, I think I mentioned it earlier. Situations have created a scenario where you have to drop back from what your original plans were. Don't let it overwhelm you. Don't let it define you. You're still going to have those events that you've wanted. It's just going to be in a bit of time. Plan safe, be safe with it, and be kind to each other. Um, that'll help diminish your stress immensely. As long as you know that that you will eventually be married, that you will marry the person that you love, don't let your fear define you. And I think that's the biggest thing is people react to situations sometimes out of fear. And if you can grab hold of the fear, dispel the fear, let the light come in, and tomorrow will be another open day, and we can look forward to having something positive to move forward towards.
Yes, I agree. I was actually listening to Les Brown yesterday, and he was saying, if you every day is a good day. If you don't believe me, try and miss one.
Yep, yep.
Every day is a
I
beautiful day.
I had a close friend. His comment every day was, "Today is a great day to be alive." And Lupe and I, we wake up every literally we wake up every morning. Gracias a Dios para ti, which is basically thank God for you.
That is fun.
Thank God has given us another day.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yes, and
So yeah, I watch a lot of things. There's so many things posted on the internet, on Facebook and whatnot. And at the end of the day, I think it's just important to be kind to each other. You see a lot of messages that are just not very pleasant look at, not very pleasant to read. Some of them are almost absolutely hateful, and they don't improve the human spirit. They don't improve the human condition. So I think people just need to, much like we did in 9/11, gather together as a country, gather together as one group of Americans, and be kind to each other.
Yes.
Channel 20 posted something this morning. Catholic Charities was doing a fundraiser through Channel 20, and their goal was 50,000. They raised 55,000. Somebody came on, an anonymous donor, this morning, contributed another $50,000.
Wow.
So they raised $105,000 when their goal was 55, was 50, and this one person came in and gave them an additional $50,000 to take care of families that were in need, families that couldn't afford to pay their utilities, pay their rent, feed their children. And that's what Catholic Charities is all about. It's one of the organizations that we support, and they do an amazing job. They're a safety net for so many people. So when you look at things like this, you look at this kind of kindness, this kind of caring, that's as a community, that's as a country what we should be doing.
Yes, I totally agree with you. We need to remain calm. We need to remain kind and to stay positive regardless. I think a mindset it is crucial these days. A mindset of being focused on your goals, on your dreams, how to improve yourself as a human being. If not, it's been a waste of the pandemic, right? Do not waste this pandemic. Try to love each other. I mean, I know it may sound cheesy. You can say whatever you want, but I totally agree with you. Then we need to keep improving that human being. That we are and what we how we see ourselves within us, and that's more important. Another thing that I love. I don't know if it's a quote or not, but it is this by Jim Rohn. One thing, the things that affect you are not the things that they happen to you or they happen for you, are the things that happen within you. So if we don't allow these pandemic times to affect us as human beings, the kindness, the beauty of ourselves as person, we're going to remain, as kind as we were supposed to be before this pandemic. So I wanted to ask you how people can find you on social media.
Well, we're on Facebook. They can go to our website at theunforgettableevents.com. Um, we have Twitter feeds. Not Twitter, Instagram feeds. So those are the main areas to locate us.
So Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook, and any information that they want in detail. If they want to look at photographs of many of the events that we've done, I mean, my goodness, I've done over 7,000 weddings over the years, and I can pretty much honestly tell you, I don't think any two of them have been alike. They've all been different. So those are all featured on our website, along with a lot of other content.
Nice, nice. That is fantastic. Well, if you need to host any event or any types, hey, unforgettable events. They're gonna make your wedding, your corporate event, your gala, your festival, whatever you need. They're gonna make it unforgettable. And so go ahead and visit Facebook and Instagram at unforgettable.events.com as well. If you would like to book unforgettable events. And before we go, I would like to say hello to some friends that have been connecting and saying hello to you guys. Trish Moser, well, of course, Linda Rocha, Adela Solis, and let me see, and well, we have another comment, a long comment by Linda, and all the people that are watching. So I want to thank you then so much for being here this morning with us, and Lupe as well.
Well, let me give you back to Lupe.
Hey, corazón, que tengas un día precioso. Disfruta la vida, tu hija, tu señora y todas las flores que están alrededor de ti.
Oh, muchas gracias. I wanted to ask you because I sometimes I see the designs and I can feel that they have like a Latin flavor on it, a little bit. That
Okay.
is so
Okay,
beautiful. That is so beautiful. Thank you, Lupe, for being so wonderful.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Hasta la próxima.
Hasta la próxima. Okay, guys, so this has been Elio Piedra, another morning coffee with Elio, and this time with Dan and Lupe Hathcock. Owners at Unforgettable Events.
Salud.
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 Cheers. Hey, hold on. I have mine here. I have mine here.
Bueno.
Bueno, happy morning coffee, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful Friday, and happy Memorial Day. Memorial Days is this coming weekend, right?
Yes.
Happy Memorial Days. God bless America. God bless the veterans. Thank you for your service. Thank you for this amazing country and this amazing and wonderful community of Gainesville that is supporting businesses like our business, you know, the event industry that when we need it the most. So thank you guys. Enjoy your weekend, and we're gonna see you back on Monday. Guys, thank you very much for watching Morning Coffee with Elio. Yes, we're really looking forward to seeing you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Do not forget to like us and follow us on Facebook and become part of the Morning Coffee with Elio community. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and live full.